All content is publicly sourced and used under the USA Fair Use and UK Fair Dealing Guidelines. The things I say are strictly my opinion. Good morning, everyone. It is the 6th of October. Hope you're all having a great Tuesday so far. I have a couple of interesting, if you can call them interesting, things that I would like to share with you all today regarding the Harkles. Number one, Smegs is giving us an update on Archificial. And the second thing, of course, they have to release their Christmas plans. What is this, almost 3 months before Christmas? That's the Harkles for you. But before I do, I wanted to mention something. Day before yesterday, Sunday, the 4th of October, was the 50th anniversary of Janis Joplin's passing. Janis is one of my favorite musical artists of all time. Ever since I first heard her when I was about 12 years old, I've loved her ever since. When I was 17 years old, me and my grandparents went on a vacation to Texas. We went to Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, just touristy type things. While we were there, I knew that Janis was from Texas, a town called Port Arthur. I begged my grandparents, please take me there so I can see her hometown. Please, please, please. They finally gave in and took me. It was quite a bit out of the way. We went there. There was nothing there to even mention that she had grown up there, anything like that. As I understand now, the house she grew up in has a historic marker in front of it, but I couldn't even find it then. Anyway, on a day like this, of course, remember the people who have passed due to their addictions, but also say a prayer for the people who are still suffering from addiction and for the people who care about them, because they certainly need your prayers. Moving on, thank you to my patrons, Kim and Christine D. I had a viewer leave a comment. I thought you were going to cut down on the ancient history. Not happy. Well, I did stop it. I was giving several facts about a monarch or consort. I stopped doing that. Then I had people say, why aren't you doing that anymore? We liked it. So I brought it back, but I will only give one interesting fact about a monarch or consort. And this person is complaining about the one fact. You see, something I've learned in my 40 years on this planet is you can't please everyone all the time. If we tried to please everyone all the time, we'd be walking on our hands with our head doing Lord only knows what. We would have to put our body in positions that, men pay Smegs to get into. I mean, you can't please everybody. So I'm going to do the royal fact of the day. If you don't like it, madam, fast forward through it. Thank you. For today's royal fact of the day, I have King Charles I. And there he is with his head, his royal crest, his signature, and the fact. In June of 1628, Charles prorogued Parliament, and without them, no new taxes could be levied. Taxes could be levied, not taxis. Taxes could be levied. But you see, he needed that money. So to raise revenue without reconvening Parliament, Charles resurrected an all but forgotten law called the Distraint of Knighthood, which hadn't been used in over a century. It required any man who earned over £40 from land each year to present himself at the king's coronation to be knighted. Relying on this old statute, Charles fined individuals who had failed to attend his coronation in 1626. Quite a slippery guy, Charles. That's probably why he ended up on the chopping block. As I said, for today's episode of As the Stomach Turns, The Adventures of the Harkles, Smegs is giving us an update on Archie, and guess what? He keeps us on our toes, she says. The nothing of nowhere said her, and Harry Harkles, 17-month-old, is just so busy. He is all over the place. He's all over the place? Well, they must have upgraded to one of those ones that has a gear in the back that you wind up and it moves. In a rare interview, rare, rare. They're on a Zoom call that's publicized every other day. How is that rare? The Harkles gave some insight into how little Archificial is growing up. He's growing up, progressing from one size doll to the next size doll every few months. That's how he's growing up. And it seems like the 1.5-year-old is quite the handful. We are doing well, Smegs told the Evening Standard. Archificial is so good, we are very lucky with our little one. He is just so busy. He is all over the place. He keeps us on our toes. We are just so lucky. You see how she says lucky twice when referring to Archie? Maybe she's referring to the fact that it's good that the surrogate hasn't come forward yet to reveal the truth. That's probably what she's referring to as lucky. And just a note, side note, I don't believe in luck. That's not something that I adhere to. So quit using that word, Smegs. This Archificial update is in line with the funny habit recently reported by royal journalist Omid Scooby-Doo, a tendency to crash his parents' video calls. I loved discovering the Harkles' daily Zoom calls with the various initiatives and people that they work with. Well, see, Omid Scooby-Doo just said their daily Zoom calls, but then up here it's saying a rare interview. If you do something every day, you're not doing it rarely. That's not the way it works. Scooby said on his podcast, The AirPod. And now Archie is no stranger to climbing in front of the webcam and making little impromptu cameos. The Harkles and Archie are currently residing in their new Santa Barbara home along with their Beagle Guy and Black Lab, Poola. In August, Harry told a group of rugby players that his son was loving it in California, but he was having a little trouble finding a particular item for Archie. It's fantastic. What I need is a few mini rugby balls that I can then get Archie involved with the game because at the moment it is impossible to find any, the Duke said. Has Harry Harkle never heard of Amazon.com? You can find just about anything on there, and if you can't find it on there, go to eBay. I'm sure you can locate it. All right. Oh, and if you are still having a hard time finding balls, consult your wife. I've heard she has a couple in her pocket. But I got a little bit of space outside, which we are very fortunate to have. You see, there's the word you use instead of lucky. Fortunate, he continued. So I need to get him playing some rugby league, but I am just unbelievably fortunate and grateful to have outdoor space and to see my son be able to be outside. To be able to see your kid out. You have plenty of outdoor space at Frogmore. Windsor has how many hundreds of thousands of acres? Or tens of thousands, excuse me. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there's probably lots more space there than the 2 or 3 acres that you have in Santa Barbara. Because I know just so many people have not had the opportunity in the last 5 months. So our little man is our number one priority. And here we go again. Smegs is releasing her Christmas plans, and guess what? They don't involve the British royal family. Smegs and Hare will reportedly spend Christmas with David Foster and Catherine McPhee. She's really excited and is planning on doing all the traditions she grew up with as a child, including the cooking. Roast chicken, anyone? Pretty sure that'll be a main on the menu this year. The Harkles reportedly won't fly to England to spend Christmas with the royals. The couple plan to spend the holiday with David Foster and Catherine McPhee. Looks like the Harkles won't be flying home to England for the holidays and will instead spend Christmas with Grammy-winning producer and brief but iconic Real Housewives of Beverly Hills supporting cast member David Foster and his wife, actress/singer Catherine McPhee, who Meghan went to school with. According to sources who spoke to the Mirror via the Daily Mail, Harry and Smegs will host Christmas in Los Angeles and invite Catherine and David, who they describe as Harry's surrogate dad. I wonder what Daddy Charles thinks of that. Smegs very much wants to host the first Christmas at their new home with her mum, a source says. She's really excited and is planning on doing all the traditions she grew up with as a child, including the cooking, and going to the Federal Pen to see Doria. No, Doria will be coming to them this year. They've also invited David and Catherine to spend it with them. David had mentioned the Harkles going to theirs, but Meghan wants it at home. They want to get on with their new lives. Christmas with Harry's family is not in the plan. Of course it's not. While some are painting the Harkles' decision to stay in the States for Christmas as a snub against the royal family, it's worth pointing out that there's a lot going on right now, and the couple opting not to fly across the world is definitely the responsible decision, in my opinion. Who wrote this article? Mira Bonner. Okay, Ms. Bonner, let's get a couple of things straight. Them choosing not to go spend Christmas with the British royal family is not them trying to be safe and not fly. They take private jets. The only one they have to worry about in the private jet is the pilot, and I'm sure that he's been checked over very well before he gets on the plane. So that's not the reason that they're not going to Sandringham for Christmas. They take a private jet when they travel. And they probably just got off one from one of their luxurious vacays, so flying is not a concern of theirs. Alright, a few comments from the last video about the Harkles' mounting legal bill for her lawsuit against the Mail on Sunday and the other newspapers who dare criticize the Nothing of Nowhere. Holy smokes, money grows on trees and donkeys fly. No, I think Mimi paid the legal fees with her earnings from calligraphy. Ha 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 ha. Is that what they call it these days? Calligraphy? If the royal family are so incensed with her lawsuit, no taxpayers' money should be associated or funding this fiasco. This needs to go to trial. She needs to be brought to her knees. This amount of money is nothing to her because it's not hers. Do the Harkles know they are clowns? Probably not. They're not very self-aware. Sure, now she's got unlimited pockets to do as she's always pleased. Crush her enemies. Doesn't seem to be working well for her. Hope they catch her lies while she's on the stand. So what have we learned today, everyone? Number 1, Charles I was a slippery sucker, whereas Smegs is slippery and she sucks. Number 2, Archificial might be considered a handful because he requires being taken from his shelf every few days for a dusting. Number 3, Archificial might also be considered a handful because it is difficult to keep up with all the lies surrounding his incubation and birth. Number 4, Archificial is so busy taking meetings with the makers of Cabbage Patch Dolls and other such toy lines for a potential position as spokesdoll. Number 5, Just H is just in need of some balls. He should consult Smegs since she has had his clenched tightly in her fist for several years now. Number 6, Smegs will cook Christmas dinner this year, which means there is a 99.9% chance that roast chicken will be served. Number 7, the Harkles are only concerned about flying when it comes to visiting H's family, but when Smega wants to holiday, a private jet is more than safe. Number 8, not just donkeys fly, but snakes as well. Each time Jack A, H, and Snake Smegs get on a plane. Number 9, Smegs earned the money for her legal fees during her time on the high seas. Number 10, Mrs. Harkle will be brought to her knees by this trial, and not for the obvious reason of attempting to pleasure the judge in hopes of a favorable outcome. Number 11, just because Megasaurus knows that she has hideous, misshapen clown feet does not mean she realizes that the whole world thinks of her as a clown. Number 12, the lies of Megamouth will be caught while she is on the stand, and anyone who comes into contact with her will catch a Petri dish full of other things as well. Is it Petri or Petri? Number 13, if one goes to see one's doctor regarding things one caught from Smega, one's doctor will think all one has been doing for the last few years was having unprotected liaisons in a Bangkok brothel. If you would like to send love notes, tokens of appreciation, or toys and treats for the 3 corgis, and the precious Gemma, this is my P.O. Box. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that notification button. I will see you all in the next one. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Bye-bye.